Hey everyone, we're back with episode 34, Divas.
Hi.
Divas Live.
Yes, and I hope you've all heard Mariah Carey and our girl Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex podcast.
Yes.
On Spotify and
Archetypes.
And Don't Believe the Hype. So we listened to it. It was the most beautiful, excellent podcast. And
yes.
We've fallen so much
well,
in
first
love.
it was Serena, and then we get Mariah.
Exactly.
And oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
And Meghan was fangirling.
Yes. And Mariah has been trending. Mariah was trending.
Yep.
And of course, Serena is trending because Serena is the GOAT.
Right.
And so we just wanted to, just talk about what we enjoyed.
Yes.
Yes. With Mariah Carey and with our girl Meghan.
Well, she started off with this. Mm-hmm. And kind of went back to when she first heard Mariah and finally seeing somebody who looked like her. Mm-hmm. So, but yes, it was amazing how she brought back all the memories, and both of them were flashbacking to when she was on VH1, the Divas
live show.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a period where it was
back in the 90s when we were recognizing women,
and there were so many renditions of them. It wasn't just this one with Mariah Carey.
Right.
They had one where I think even was Whitney on.
She was on the one with Whitney. She was with Aretha, Shania Twain.
Yeah, there was so many of them. It was awesome, and I remember the one Meghan was talking about. And it was a Divas live show, and the women came out and
they all performed.
Yes, and it was performed their best and their talent, showcased their talent, and that's what a diva was. It was someone who's talented, respected. I mean, fabulous. Just not the hard to work with person.
Right.
Yeah, and.
But she was unapologetic about anything about her life. I mean, she knew who she was and her truth, and I think that's what we learned about Mariah in this episode.
We learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned so much. There was so much in her background.
I know. That
I didn't know about her upbringing.
I know. I mean, first of all, her mom.
Right.
Being an opera singer,
yes. I mean, whoa.
And when she played that clip of her mom hitting those notes, and now we know where she gets that from.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay, Mariah, now we understand.
Now we understand. It's like we should research people. When you hear research, and I think one thing Meghan and Harry has taught us is like, don't believe what you read in the news. Just read, learn.
Don't believe the type.
Don't believe the type.
Yes.
And what about Mariah's idol? Leontine Price.
Yes.
She said, she looked up to her. I forgot about her.
Well, she was in awe because she got invited to Oprah's Legends Ball.
Yes.
And she was there. Mm-hmm. And she got to meet her. And not realizing that whole time, her coach, her music coach, Leonta Price's music coach, was also her mother's music coach.
Yes. Wow.
So they have that connection. She was like, how's your mom doing? And I know she's probably like, oh my God, what?
Exactly, yeah. And we also learned that both Meghan and Mariah
raised by their moms.
Were raised by their moms. They were sort of like reversed. Mariah's mom was white, father was mixed race black, and Meghan's mom was black, and dad white. Biological, donor was white, and that because of their upbringing, they went through a lot of the same things, a lot of the same experiences and stuff. And
I'm sure Meghan, when she saw her, she was like, oh my God, finally someone who can't, oh my God, they look like me.
Who look like her.
Yes.
Who look like her.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of people out there that look like Meghan. I look like Mariah.
Yeah, but famous people.
And
to
yes.
see
exactly, achieving on that level, being accepted, I guess, across the world at that level. So because so they dissected what it meant to be a diva and how people were treated, with a positive and
okay, can we talk about how Mariah was breaking down the whole definition? She was like, it means goddess.
Yes.
Right? This is what it is. I'm fabulous. I'm owning it. I live up to it.
Yes.
You see this outfit I'm wearing? I wore it last night. Yes, we had it washed and cleaned, but
yes,
I wanted to wear it again.
But she said because when she grew up, she didn't have that many clothes.
Right.
And people would tease her.
Yes.
And then her mom
moved
wanted
after
into
she
a
got
white
away from
neighborhood. Her husband moved into a white neighborhood because that's where she felt comfortable.
Right.
But Mariah was now uncomfortable because she had to bear the brunt of.
She was different.
She did different.
Right.
Yeah, different, and the teasing and whatever, race related or not having enough clothes. So she is going to dress to the nines and own it.
Yes.
She doesn't care.
What did she say about her shoes? I remember she played a soundbite back from when she was on MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
And they were showing her shoe closet. And she was like, I don't wear anything unless it has a heel.
Exactly.
A stiletto heel. And if it's not a stiletto, I'm not wearing it.
And she said, it was a joke, people.
Yes. No, it wasn't.
But everybody took it seriously.
I know.
She got a lot of flack from it. But she was like, I was having fun. It's MTV Cribs. She probably figured, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do, yes.
Have
fun, chill out.
Exactly.
But
Exaggerate
if you think about,
live.
though, how her persona, whatever they built for her when she first came out.
The negative diva, yeah.
Well, no, they had this whole all-American girl thing going on with her.
Yeah.
And she was like, I had the plaid shirt and the little dress.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Exactly.
No, boo-boo. No.
That wasn't me. So it was so nice to hear Meghan. And so for Meghan to have her on, I mean, and talk about Mariah. And I know Mariah from her songs, her popular songs, like the one we found that little snippet on YouTube.
Vision of Love, her very first one.
And
all
then
the
play the whole
Grammys.
thing. And also,
we're not trying to get copyright issues.
And then we also, Mariah has such a voice. She could sing
in the
pop.
range. Yes.
She could sing soul. She can sing opera. She is all over. She's such a talent.
Right.
Even her Christmas album, her Christmas songs, just went to the roof. I think she wanted to copyright Miss Christmas.
And that's okay. And I think
I think they told her no.
And then she was like, okay, fine. All I want for Christmas will be mine. And that's what she did.
Yes. But I know that I went out and I started listening. I started to listen to Leontine Price, and I'm going to buy a lot of her music.
Yes,
if I can, if I can get it and have it, because these are classics.
I know.
We don't want to. She was a goat.
Yes.
And
for her time and for that era, and to be all over the world renowned opera singer, yes.
It said one of the things I have, and we're just trying to pull it up here. I'm sorry I wasn't able to share it with you before.
Just hiding stuff.
I see how y'all do it. It just says that Leontine Price in opera, perhaps no American.
Mary Violet Leontine Price.
Okay. Perhaps no American opera singer in history, regardless of race, has achieved as much universal respect as soprano Leontine Price.
Yes.
This is something that should be in the history. Should be thought, and
but people don't talk.
People
about
don't talk about that. So it's like I just wanted to bring that up, and people, if you don't know about her, go out and listen to what she, what she's done. All her music is out there, and it's the same for Mariah Carey's music.
Well, she's got her own catalog, and they went through the evolution of Mariah.
Yes,
and she had talked about how she went from, that kind of American girl next door kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But then when she left her husband, when they got divorced, and that was also a pivotal moment. She wanted to be empowered for herself, so she made sure people realize that she. That house that they lived in, her and Tony Mottola.
Yes, I did not know that.
She paid for half of that house.
She paid for that. She didn't want to say she was owned.
Exactly.
Because
she saw what happened with her mom, and she was like, "Oh hell no!
Yeah, I'm going to own it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to have to stay with someone because and a lot of women end up staying in relationships,
right?
Because the man owns everything, but she owned it. I did not know she was half owner of that. She paid for that.
Yes.
Okay, come on. she was paying for his
I know.
upkeep.
I know. But Mariah's like, I'm out, bitches. Okay.
Technically.
And then when she got out, she was free.
Yeah.
And then I know she says butterfly was kind of like her transformation.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, no. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, no, it was a rainbow. Because the whole time I kept thinking, was that song, was it Honey? Yeah, Honey Got Me Hooked on You. And then the emancipation. Then Butterfly.
Right.
And then the emancipation of Mimi.
Right.
Oh my God, that was just evolution.
And you think that's when people, ascribe the negative connotation of the name to her?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think when, so at one segment, at one point of the discussion, Meghan had did a digression, and she was talking about Amanda Cialis, who's also an actress, who's also a performer, and she was talking about when she first came out and was doing, getting recognized, it was because she was Amanda Diva. And people were like, oh, no, you can't come out with that name. That's negative. And I wonder.
I remember
because that. They're trying to associate the negative with Black people because we were claiming that?
Yeah.
And owning it?
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's just the word. Right. Anybody, even Celine Dion, she was a diva.
Right.
She's this or she's that.
Right.
And let me just tell you the story. I'm going to jump ahead. I don't even think they talked about this, but when Mariah got divorced from a second marriage, and she had the twins.
Oh God, with the baby maker.
Well, let's not talk about
the
him.
non-stuff.
Let's not talk about him.
Okay,
but I want to think there's something good in all of that. I don't know, but
no, there is, and I think that relationship is good.
No, I'm talking about him.
Oh,
but let's talk about her.
Okay.
Someone said. And it was a well-known radio producer said that when they said you can, he's famous, right, in his own right, and she's famous,
right.
And then when they got together, I think she was, always more famous than him.
Correct.
But then he got his jobs and was like, on television more.
He got more exposure.
And people said, do you know? I think I didn't think that would last because she needed him to always be telling her how pretty she is, how beautiful she is, how wonderful she is.
Right.
Because she's a diva.
Right.
That's what he said. And, because of,
right,
Mariah,
said it in
the diva, said it in a negative way.
Right.
And, so that's why that thing whole broke up, because he got famous and that broke up. And, at that time I heard it and I was like, oh, really? Oh, wow. He did and I kind of believed that. I kind of, went with that until I was like, wait a minute.
They do this on purpose.
They do this on purpose.
Right.
So they nastied her up with that. I'm sure other people just went with it, not knowing any better, until I heard this podcast and I'm like,
Mariah's all right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She doesn't need anybody to lift her up.
Look, she doesn't do pedestrian.
Exactly.
Okay? That's what it is, and I'm okay with that.
And yes. So,
and I agree. We shouldn't be settling for pedestrian.
Yes. And I think that we have to be careful when people just say crap because
especially about women,
especially about women, when they use those negative things. We have to remember, it's like, wait a minute,
where is this really coming from?
And the Sussex squad has Meghan's back, and we we know not to listen to the negative.
Exactly.
Just move on. It's just like with all these different podcasts, everything is nice and positive. We listen to it, it's great.
Yeah.
And then sometimes some of these things just pop up.
Right.
And I see the negative and it hurts me to the core.
Right.
I want to respond, but I don't respond.
Yeah, don't even go there.
Don't even go there. It could ruin my day. It's like,
you gotta block it.
I can't believe some people out there thinking this.
No, there's a lot of ugly people.
Yeah.
I mean,
But anyway, so
yes.
I was really, let's talk about how they're bonded, some of the things that they did.
Well, besides the fact they were both just in awe of each other.
Exactly.
But then, they broke it down to the hair care.
Exactly.
I think that was the moment where they were like, say what?
Yes.
The first with the pink lotion. And I think everybody and
pomade. And the thing was,
who has had that struggle with their hair, we all knew. We were all like,
exactly.
Yes, oh my God, we have
But
that.
Black people now, like, I went natural.
And ISO Plus.
Yeah, well, I went natural.
Sulfurate. Sorry.
I went natural.
Yes.
And I had to grow out my perm hair. My hair was long, and I hated getting the big chop because you can't have natural hair and permed hair at the same time.
Right,
because
it's a fight. It's a battle.
When you wash your hair, the straight hair gets all knotted up. And then you could comb the natural hair, but what do you do with the straight hair?
Right.
How, you know,
it's a fight. It's a battle, y'all. It's a battle.
You know what happens to it?
Yes.
So,
so you do end up having to cut.
You have to cut all my hair off, and I was like, oh no, now I have to go get a wig and transition and all this stuff.
It was not a buzz type of situation,
but it was a cut. But and right after that, a month after that, they came out with these transition materials for you to transition. Shampoo, conditioner, moisturizer, so you don't have to do the big chop.
Exactly. Like, I know. And they were both like, what the hell? Where was this stuff when we needed it?
And all this thing like, what is your curl type?
Exactly.
You know, well, I knew when I started going natural, reading my curl type, I have coils. It's a combination of coils or Z shape. You know, what is the curl shape? You know? And they have all these different products that is best for your type of curl.
Right.
And so, so when they were talking about hair, I was like, I did not know Mariah and Meghan would have those struggles.
But they did. And as soon as Meghan said pomade, I think Mariah was like, oh my God, girl, yes.
I can't believe, she said, I can't believe Meghan said that.
Yes.
And because, and the funny thing is, when you look at their hair, they talked about their grandmothers combing their hair and stuff.
Right.
Had their grandmothers have what we have today in
natural hair care. Oh my God, they wouldn't have cried.
They wouldn't have had to go through the struggles.
She would like hold on to the sink.
She would not have had to hold on to the sink while her grandmother tried to
pull the knots out.
Pull out the knots. It was like, woo. I was like, oh, I braid my little niece's hair, and she took out the braids herself. Yes. But she was impatient, so she just tore
her hair out.
No, you're supposed to never manipulate dry hair.
Yeah, it's supposed to be wet. It's supposed to do it when it's wet.
Damn, whatever. But anyway, so we, you know, as some black people don't really associate mixed race people with having hair struggles, but they do.
Right. And then I didn't even realize, well, think about it. They must be going back and forth between the whole
curl type. Yes. How to comb these curls, how to get the knots out when you wash it.
And then when the humidity hits.
Exactly. And all these different things like that. And for pink oil, which we all use, it's like, for some people it's a lot, for some people it's a little bit. Because I look at Mariah curl type,
right,
and I look at Meghan.
She wouldn't need as much, whereas Meghan might need a little more.
And Meghan's hair is thick.
I know. She knows. She told us. She tells us.
And I saw, you know, compare pictures of the both of them. Meghan looks like that little redhead girl. And what's that movie that came out? It was just really thick hair, like a big old fan of hair. I don't know. I forget. I'll remember the name of the movie.
Okay.
And when Mariah has a looser curl, so
right.
Her hair doesn't poof up as much as Meghan's.
Still poofs though. Still poofs.
It still poofs, yeah.
But yeah, no, I know
exactly. But so,
but for having them to bond like that,
exactly,
and then us all be there with her
and empathizing with that.
Yes.
And one of the things I thought was really good is that they talked about. When they got into a little bit about colorism, and they talked about
a little bit, they got into a whole
lot,
right?
How Mariah could probably, people would probably see her and think she's white, whereas Meghan, because Meghan has more what's the word I'm thinking of? Looks like, you know, she's neither black nor white, you really can't tell.
Right.
So it's like, is she Mexican? Is she Spanish? Is she Iranian?
Right, they just don't know.
They just don't know.
But they're trying to put you in what box.
In what box to put her in.
Right.
So they really can't tell. So they leave it the hell alone.
Right.
Whereas if Halle Berry walked into a room, even if, and I'm saying Halle Berry and explain
because
why.
she's also mixed. Yep.
She's also mixed. Her mom is all right, or is white, but she walked in the room and she has darker skin. they would treat her differently because they could identify because of the color in her skin, the amount of melanin in her skin. So I'm glad that they got into that and they recognized that.
Well, and they also recognized the privilege that they had from that.
Yes, right.
Because I think
not that they went and benefited.
No, not that. But they recognized that they weren't treated the same way as a darker skinned
person.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's why they're so supportive of other women of color in the industry, bringing them up in the industry and supporting them, like Zendaya. Exactly. You know,
and Zendaya's on that next level.
Yeah,
and those two paved the way for her.
Yeah, and Zendaya is darker than Meghan and Mariah, so she would be recognized as, they would see and say, okay, black. They put her in a box. They put her in that box. You know, more so than ignoring her. You know. So, and she's very supportive of other people of color, you know, and other minorities moving up, you know, and you know.
But she never puts down the black woman.
Yes, exactly. So I thought, you know, so people have to recognize, and we had talked about this a little bit on one of our podcasts about colorism.
We did a whole, we expanded further.
But I don't think we could have gone a little further. It's like, but how many people really supported Meghan? How many black women supported Meghan? And recognized that she had struggles too, or only recognized that she had it easier and like, oh, bitch, don't complain, you know, that type of thing.
Well, based on the reception when when he came out and introduced her as his fiance, when they got married, I feel that women of color saw this as a positive. I think they were supportive.
I'm not saying it's not supportive, but I think when Meghan says something or complains, they were like, oh, you don't have it as bad as me. We do. You understand? I'm saying it from that point, you know.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. But she realized, no, I didn't have it as bad as you. But when I got to that situation,
Yes. But I understand it's not for Meghan to recognize. It's for other black people to recognize. Right. You know,
that there is colorism.
Meghan and support Meghan. And realize
colorism was real because we have it within our own
within our own families, within our own group, and not only it's like you know, we may not have seen things that you know, Meghan has seen when she went to the country parties or were within the palace walls, how they treated her, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't pretty.
No.
You know, we have to recognize that, and you know, not say, well, you had it easy, you know, and you know, why did you marry this person or whatever. We just have to recognize our failings and support Meghan, because if you don't support her, I mean,
why are you on this podcast?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, but my bad.
You know, it's, you know,
no, I understand.
Who's going to support you?
Exactly.
Yes. So I'm glad that they touched on that. I mean, that was,
and I think that was a good thing to also spark that conversation for other women.
Exactly. Yeah. Other women of color. You know, at the mix, and there's so many of us. Look at the only person I can think of is Keenan Peele.
Yes.
Yeah. And Jordan
Peele and Keenan Pete.
Yeah. And they look like black men. They're well, of course, they're black men. Their skin color, but their mothers are white.
Exactly.
So, or that other guy who is also mixed race, but he looks white. He starred in Speed.
Yes.
You know, so for them, you know, for America, it's like it's the treatment is different.
Yes.
You know, based on, you know, and you know, whether you try to pass or you're not passing. That's a whole other story.
That's a whole nother discussion.
But we have
we didn't even get down to that
part going on. But I'm glad they touched on that and identified that and talked about that too. So that was really good. And I think it's a good thing she mentioned Halle Berry, because remember Prince Harry's
oh yeah, when he was 16 in his college room at Eton.
He had this
who was in the middle? Halle Berry.
Shout out to his crush.
Yes.
His high school crush.
Yes.
And I thought it was really funny when they were talking about Diva on a positive note.
Okay.
And And Mariah said, "Oh, wait a minute, Meghan. You've had your diva moments."
Oh, yes, because Meghan was like, "What are you talking about?"
It was like a record squeak.
It is kind of funny because I don't think Meghan realizes how beautiful.
Well, no, she didn't understand diva. Diva mean acting in a certain way.
Right,
so
right.
You're doing something.
Right, right.
And
but she didn't see her goddess element. But Mariah and like the rest of us, we all saw.
And
yes.
And then later on, towards the end, Meghan acknowledged that yes. Now I understand. She was talking about it in a positive sense.
I know, because when she was like, she called me a diva, I was like, what's getting all mad? She was getting hot. She didn't say it like that. But she was like, I was confused. When was I a diva? No, but I was like,
was it a diss speech?
I was squirming in my seat. Like, Meg was getting hot. Like, I know you didn't call me a diva. We just talked about this, Mariah. But she meant it in the positive.
And we identified some of Meghan's diva moments we want to share with you.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure you have yours too.
Exactly.
So, you want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay. I think Meghan diva, her first one was when she walked down that aisle to meet Harry. That was diva.
Yes.
Yes. When she walked into that the
church. Oh, yes. And I'm sorry, the heavens opened up. Oh, ethereal light. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
One, you go.
Okay, next, ascot outfit.
Yes, the black and white hat.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. She brought it. It was fierce, had that tilt.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to say, trooping up the color, her first one.
Okay.
When she had on the pink off the shoulder piece.
Ooh.
Yes. With her matching pink fascinator.
Yes.
That was
the buttons. Yes.
That was another different one. Okay.
Yes. Australia trip for me, but the blue gown.
Oh, wow.
And it had a train.
Yeah, she should have had a tiara that day.
She should have. Yeah. But guess what? She didn't need it.
Yeah, I know she didn't need it.
She came down and it was just beautiful.
Beautiful, yes.
Yes.
Very ethereal because she was pregnant with Archie and you could see she probably had morning sickness, so you could see her face.
Yes.
The change. Okay, I am going to go with Jubilee, the recent foray into England. We'd go back to those.
Okay.
Recent foray into England when she had that lilac dress coat,
right,
and hat.
That was lilac?
Tilted.
Because it read white.
No, someone said it was pale lilac.
Okay.
Yeah. To match Harry's tie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So the dress under was lilac. The coat was a different, a lighter shade.
Right.
But we weren't there in person.
But no, that hat, for real.
Yes.
She came out of the car. I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
Is this mahogany? Oh my God, it's not. It's not.
Yes, and then when it was...
And then that walk down in the church.
Yes.
To walk to their seats. She just, the look. It was
exactly.
served.
It was
the whole time.
Yeah, it was, yes.
Yes. Magic.
Nobody could do that.
No.
That was Meghan.
Untouchable.
And so now the
most infamous were when, after they had left Vancouver, got rescued and got the hell out and were in the U.S.
They were living in Vancouver, but they came back.
They had to come
England
back
to
because
finish off their work.
Yeah, because they said they were gonna retire as senior royals.
Yes, and they had some engagements.
Or, excuse me, step back.
Yes,
as senior royals.
Right.
And they had the 3 engagements left.
Yes.
And Meghan decided, okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Blue. I am inventing the color blue.
And Harry had a blue line coat.
Yes! That matched her
dress. And it rained.
And the perfect shot.
Yes.
The award-winning shot. Yes!
That was Diva. Yes.
And then the next day, what did she wear?
The red gown.
Yes.
To match his red suit.
With a train.
With a train.
With that same designer that was from Australia. Yes.
I don't follow the designers, but
and
that red outfit was beautiful.
She brought it. But
the best one.
Yeah.
And Harry's coat was lined with that green color.
Homegirl invented the color green.
Yeah. The green dress with a cape.
She invented the color green. I have never seen this green just look good.
And she had a little fascinator to match.
With the little netting on it?
Yes.
And it just gave her that ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
That green
and that
dress.
little cape.
Little cape,
her little wonder cape.
That was
yes. That's her just flying out, her rescuing her and Harry.
She came in at the Commonwealth service.
Yes. And she flew on
and
out.
she served that up. She was like deep. She smiled.
And she was having a good old time.
Through all
Remember
that
her jamming in the church?
Yes. Through all that
and Harry's looking at her like...
She almost took out Harry's eye with that fascinated. That was a diva outfit, everybody.
But she was in that zone. And yes, diva all the way. Diva but in the right way.
In the right way, yes. And she still serves it.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. Exactly.
True. I mean,
in that cut article that we're going to talk about next.
Yeah.
I mean, that one.
The looks.
The looks, yeah.
Yeah.
Pure what we identify with Mariah was
Meghan gives us looks all the time.
Oh, yeah. But
remember
those were just some. Oh, yeah. But those were just some that we just felt.
We didn't even talk about Invictus.
Oh, yeah. We didn't talk about all of those. So, there's so many more.
Yeah.
And I'm sure other people have their best choices too. But I just picked those.
Yes.
Yeah. Of the gowns and her dresses and just different.
What she embodied. And she just
embodied at that moment.
Yes.
You know, how she owned owned the moment. She owned the mood. And she had the right mood. And she carried herself with class. Yeah, she represented herself then. She's like, you're not going to break me.
Nope.
I'm unbreakable.
Exactly. You're not going to break my soul. You ain't break my soul. Sorry. Had a Beyonce moment.
Let's hope. But towards the end, she realized what Mariah Carey was talking about. That she was saying, oh, and we related to her clothes and how she carried herself.
Yes.
And we all recognize that in Meghan.
Yes.
We all recognize that in Meghan. And we appreciate it.
Oh, we love it. Keep it up.
Oh, absolutely.
Keep serving us.
Yes.
We don't know what's next.
Exactly. So, we just wanted to bring you that. We totally love the podcast. And we can't wait for the next one when she is going to be talking with another woman and what she's done.
I believe. Yes. Mindy Kaling.
But for this one, go back and revisit some of look at Mariah's history.
Yes.
And look at Leontine's Price history.
Yes.
Play some of their music. I mean, these are women of, a force to be reckoned with. A force to be reckoned with.
Yes. These are true divas.
Exactly. In a positive sense.
Goddesses.
Exactly. So please like, subscribe, and donate if you can. And we appreciate your support.
And